Ag Journal.
The Fibermax Cotton Field Day at the BASF Cotton Breeding Station here in Lubbock invited growers, dealers, and retailers from across the region. They were here to take a look at the newest varieties for the 2020 season and see this year's top performers. In this week's Ag Journal, we take you on the tour and discuss the topics that are popping up in the field.
It's more than just show and tell. It's an opportunity to give producers a way to interact with chemists, botanists, and industry specialists that are helping shape the future of agriculture.
Drone work or aerial imagery is very helpful to growers on their farms. We will evaluate all of our varieties for their tolerance to diseases. And that's very subjective, the way that we do that. But if we can get a good aerial image and software that can help us identify, for instance, verticillium wilt in a particular genotype, then we can do a much better job of quantifying the differences among our varieties.
Weed pressure has not been horrible this season. However, Palmer pigweed is something that can be a struggle for farmers throughout the entire year.
Historically, we've looked at economic weed control. Say that you've got 20 or 30 escapes out there on an acre. You know, that really is not going to have any effect on your yield, but the amount of seed production that does is massive. It's all about eliminating seed production. And what we want to do is make sure that we steward these technologies that we have left to make sure that we're utilizing those in a diverse system so that we don't develop resistance to essentially all of our chemistries that we have.
A lot of cotton varieties have resistance to a lot of insect pests, especially bollworms. However, there is one pest that could cause devastating effects to your field right around harvest.
Aphids can be really impactful later in the season, because as those bolls start to open, aphids secrete a substance called honeydew, and it's really sticky. If that sticky gets on your cotton, it's a bad day. Very difficult to harvest. And so that is definitely a pest. If it becomes in high enough numbers, you're gonna have to have something there to spray them. And the nice thing about aphids is if you get them down to a low enough population, things like ladybugs are actually predators of aphids. So they'll move in and clean up whatever's left over.
The plot tour included a look at the newest Fibermax and Stoneville varieties for 2020 and this year's top performers.
I think Fibermax 1830 GLT, that's one of our most popular and best performing varieties. It's got great disease tolerance, great tolerance to verticillium wilt and bacterial blight. Fiber quality is really good on that variety, and fiber quality at one point in time was not important in West Texas, but nowadays it is of paramount importance for us, and it can really make the difference whenever you go to sell that crop.
Reporting for Ag Journal, Brandon Waits, KLBK News.